Okay, I have been talking to you about surviving the coronavirus in your quarantine with difficult people. Now, we don't normally call our children difficult people, but when we are quarantined with our children, it is difficult. Let's just put it that way. And some of our children are in fact difficult people in our lives. I think one woman on my daughter's Facebook said being quarantined with a talkative child is like having a parrot super glued to your shoulder. And I can relate to that because I've had grandkids here for a couple weeks and both of them talk nonstop. And I have literally had a hard time even getting the thoughts together to figure out how to do this YouTube series. Okay, so let's talk about what we do with our kids. Figuring out how to keep kids occupied, keeping our kids occupied during the coronavirus quarantine. Now, I'm going to throw out some things. Some of them may work for you, some of them may not, and that's okay. So one woman wrote to me and said, how do I keep my kids from doing nothing but video games and screen time? And even though her kids were older, 17 and 19, I get it. You don't want that. There's a part of you that says, hey, this is time we could be together as a family. This is time where we could do creative things. And as a parent, watching kids doing that night and day just gets on your nerves. So I would suggest that if screen time is something that is getting on your nerves and you don't want that all the time, that you get your kids, no matter how old they are, to earn screen time during the coronavirus. Earn it creatively. And I'm going to give you some ways that they can do that. So the first one is, what about doing a game marathon? Playing every game you have in the house, and then the ones that you don't like, put those in the garage later for a garage sale. Okay, go through all of your games. Sorry about that, forgot to turn my phone off. And next one is everybody finds a book in the house and reads a book that you've been wanting to read or haven't had a chance to read. It's an option. Next one, look up on the internet how people in other countries are surviving the coronavirus. You know, I got a kind of just a reminder the other day. I got an email or a newsletter from one of the organizations that I support, and they have people that they support in Pakistan, and these people have gone, some of them without food at all for 5 to 7 days, and are not working at all and have no opportunity to get food from the government because the government doesn't give food or aid to their particular village or their groups of people, maybe because of religion, whatever religion they are. These people happen to be Christians, and I believe it was the program that was available is for Muslims, and so they weren't allowed to get any of it. So think about how people are doing in other countries, and that will give all of us the ability to be grateful. Then letting the kids cook dinner for the whole family. How about just letting whatever's there, we're not supposed to be going out and getting all these extra things. So let the kids go out and go into the pantry, go into the freezer, and get creative with whatever you've got. Let them make a dessert, let them make dinner, and serve it to the family. How about looking up information on your ancestors' countries of origin? Maybe you've never even talked to your kids about where they came from. Looking up information about that and finding out some things about those countries. Look at the different characteristics, look at maybe some older pictures you have, see if there's anything in your house that is from that country or came from that country, and just get some insight into some new understanding of where you all came from, where your bloodlines are. Maybe even sign up for Ancestry.com and send in a sample and see what it comes back in, and then go ahead and use that as your information to do your search to look that up. Next one, if you've got spare wood around, let the kids go out and build something with it. Just be creative. Just get some hammers, some nails, some saws. Maybe dad can go out there with them. They can go out there and see what you can build. It's just for fun. And wood that you maybe never ever would have done anything with, and nobody would have cared about because everybody's off running, doing their own things, staying busy like we are so overly committed in our so in our society today. If you can hike, find a place to hike. I mean, I'm sure you can hike, but unless you're just, you have a disability, but if you can still hike, they've closed down all the hiking trails in California, which I think is horrible. We need to get exercise, we need to get out, but if you can still hike, go ahead and take a hike, pack a lunch, and maybe look up photography basics if you're not good with your camera, and learn how to take some really good pictures, and then practice taking those pictures and come home and look at them. That's another thing you would have learned, plus you would have had a time to get out of the house and fun together. Another one is have everybody go online, go and look at a map, come up with a family trip that each person would love to take. Go ahead and plan your particular family trip, present it to the family, and then have the family vote. And whatever trip it is that everybody wants to go on it after the coronavirus quarantine is over. And if you don't want people to do that, the people in the family to do that separately, all of you sit down, talk about the trip you would like to take, and plan to take that trip when the virus quarantine is up. And you can even start making reservations for it. And you can start making, setting a date that's reasonably out there in the future that you could do it. Maybe sometime in summer or middle to late summer. I hope it's not that long, but just in case. But plan that trip. Take this time. It's hard to take time to plan trips. It takes a lot of time in our schedules to look things up, look up places to go, look up how long you need to go there, what time of year is the best year to go, and have everybody agree on it. What about letting the kids paint their rooms a different color, or getting to some type of paint project around the house? Paint stores are still open, or at least hardware stores are open. In California, those are considered essential businesses, so they've got paint. Great, take the time to redecorate. Contacting family members, friends, and relatives that you don't normally talk to via Zoom is something that you could all do as a family, or have your kids learn how to do that and talk to their cousins when they wouldn't normally talk to them on Zoom. Set up with some family members for people to just get on Zoom and Zoom time together. My young people get very creative. My daughter has watched a show together while on Zoom with some friends. I believe that they played a game. They were all together from different places in the country playing a game on Zoom. So there are all kinds of things that can be done. Now, here's another one. Make a family video and post it to YouTube while home on the coronavirus, during the coronavirus. Something about, hanging together during the coronavirus, or family time in the coronavirus, or have each person in the family make their own video and post it on YouTube, and then see who gets the most views, like in a week or 2 weeks. So making a family video, doing something on YouTube, who knows, something amazing may come out of it. I mean, there's all kinds of families who are making tons of money because they're literally, it amazes me the types of things that get watched, millions and millions and millions of views, but do it for fun. What about checking out where the local food banks are and going through your house and taking out things that you can give to the food bank to help people who are less fortunate? Or like my church just sent out a list of items to get for the food bank, and I put it in my purse so I can pick some of those things up when I'm out doing grocery shopping for myself. Do that as a project, as a family, and maybe make one or two of your kids in charge of figuring out where the food banks are. They can look online, they're better than us at things, and do that. What about the kids each kid going through their room, sorting, organizing, and then putting things out that are no longer wanted, with the plan to have a garage sale when the quarantine is over? You can do that also in your garage, you can do that in your kitchen, you can do that in your own bedroom, and then use this time to do kind of like a spring cleaning in your house. Well, and then we can find a new TV series, maybe on Netflix, that you can watch as a family, or maybe on something that you can do on YouTube or podcasts, and just kind of binge watch them together a couple of days. Watching family videos from your past. I know a lot of us have those stuck over in a box, and we rarely take the time to pull them out of when the kids were little, of trips that the family's taken. Maybe it's a great time to take those out and maybe even convert them if you have the equipment to convert them from the video to a MP4 file, and then you can just have them on videos or put them on a flash drive. Maybe you have somebody in the family, a kid who can do that, and you could pay that kid to do it. I know I paid a lot of money to have somebody do that for me, but then it's hard to get the time to actually just sit and watch them, because we all run to familiar corners, doing the same thing that we normally do, doing the things that we're used to doing, and we often do them apart and not with our family members. You could also assign each child a younger sibling for the day to take care of and to entertain, to give yourself a break, to where you could go do some things that need to be done. Maybe you've got to work from home, maybe you've got to do business from home. And then I say, if all else fails and none of that works, you can go into your own room, shut the door, take a very long bath, a very long nap, read a book, binge watch something yourself, entertain yourself, if that's the only way that you can survive the coronavirus. But I hope I've given you some really good ideas. If you've got some more, please share them with me in comments, or you can email to me at carla@changemyrelationship.com. And if you have other suggestions or questions for a video on this, please give me those also, okay? Go have a great day figuring out how to occupy your kids during the coronavirus quarantine. Bye.